Biden signs historic "Don't Say Gas" bill.
Welcome to The Current, where we discuss current events and things going on in culture and news and whatever. Here we are. Today we're going to talk about parental rights in education, also known as the Don't Say Gay bill. That's how the media has dubbed it.
And has this passed in Florida?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it did.
And actually, I think somebody's, I don't know who to sue, but I'm pretty sure somebody's taken it to a federal court to appeal the law. So,
Yep.
To exactly appeal, what are the people against this bill? What is their stance? What are they against?
Well, the bill is about not talking about sexual, like sex ed.
Orientations or-
Yeah, orientations, any of that. Anything to do with sex ed to kids under third grade. That's what the bill is.
I'm not sure most people know that, or if they do, are maybe just ignorant of it, because I cannot logically see how anybody would be against that.
Right.
Even if you are pro-gay, pro-transsexual, whatever your stance is, third grade is like an 8-year-old. What in the world does an 8-year-old need to know about anything to do with that?
Right. I would have actually gone further. I would have went up higher than, I mean, not as high as you probably, but
I would go to 12th grade.
Yeah.
I don't think public education schools should have anything to do with sex education. I think that's something to be discussed as a family, and that's it.
I could get behind that.
Unfortunately, parents aren't responsible, and what do you do? I mean, that would be ultimately the way to go. But if that were the case, if parents were responsible, then schools would only have to teach history, math, writing, reading, that.
You mean the stuff they're only supposed to teach?
Maybe back to what they're supposed to teach. But we see our schools being forced. I don't know if they took it. I don't know that who's at fault here, but it seems like the schools are teaching morality and other things, values, because parents are not teaching those things. I think in a perfect world, parents should teach faith, morality, honesty, ethics, all of that stuff, sex ed, all of that stuff at home for sure.
Would you say parents? Parents probably aren't, but I'm not sure that's where it started.
No, maybe the school stepped in and just started taking that role.
School and the more liberal progressive agenda didn't like what parents were teaching at home and didn't like the values being enforced and said, we got to step in because that goes against what we want.
Right.
So,
and every time we do the we, I struggle with that. Like, who's the we? But talking about the liberal agenda for culture is really, there's been a movement. It's probably 25 years ago where it started. Let us raise your children. No, don't you be teaching them Bible stuff. No, none of that. Faith stuff. Let us teach them. So I think that's a huge problem, and that's where the going off and private schools, homeschooling really got its. I think its impetus, its direction to go that way is because schools were trying to convince our children against traditional values, basically just traditional values. But who could be against sex? Anything sexual there's no place in a grade school for that. I would agree. Now, I don't know about 12th grade, but there's no place for that in a grade school. And who could argue that? Really, who could argue that? And maybe somebody could give us a message or something. What is the stance? Because I don't understand the opposition. I don't understand what is it about this that bothers you? Because it's hard to talk to something that I have no idea why they wouldn't like it. What's the other story?
Right.
I don't know.
Well, the fact that it's the Don't Say Gay bill, it's also the Don't Say Straight bill. Why don't we start calling it that? Don't say straight. Don't say anything.
That doesn't sell as hot on CNN.
Yeah.
So
That's the part they're spinning it. It does say that. But it doesn't say don't say gay in the bill anywhere. It doesn't
No.
say those words in there anywhere.
what's frustrating is you have, I mean, I don't know how many people are really up in arms about it because, again, who do you trust? Is this just
Right.
a media spin sort of thing?
Squeaky
But
wheel kind of a thing.
Yeah, you know, I've read some stuff from teachers and people that lean more towards the, you know, progressive side of the political aisle, all up in arms about this on one side, like, oh my gosh, how could you sign this into law? But then at the same time saying, but we're not talking about that to your kids anyway.
Well, then why are you mad?
Well, wait a minute, what does it matter?
Yeah.
If you're gonna sign a law that tells me I can't touch snakes anymore, I don't care, because guess what?
I
wasn't
snakes.
doing that to begin with.
You'd be like, sign me up. I'm signing that bill.
Let's put this into law right now.
Right now.
But like it almost seems like some people are talking out of both sides of their mouth with this inconsistency of like, well, no, we're not doing that, but don't you limit me from ever doing that either. Like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense.
No.
I don't get it. So
One of my grandkids came to me and said, hey, Grandpa, assistant principal of our school was in our classroom today and was telling us that nobody can say the word gay. And I just thought, again, I'm pretty...
did the assistant principal use that word?
In talking about it.
Whoa.
Said, don't use the word gay in any shape.
Did he pass a don't say gay bill? Because
I don't
that
know.
would actually make sense from what you just said. He said don't say gay.
You can't say the word
How
gay.
do
say
you
the word
say
gay.
don't say? If you're gonna say don't say.
Okay, so I will
Man.
always take a stand towards, whether it's for Christian values or whether it's not, I will always take a stand for, we can't legislate and to control people's lives. Now, yes, you can't murder and you can't steal, get this stuff, but when it comes to character and values, can we really legislate values? We shouldn't, and I know we do extreme, but
What if
it's
somebody
terrible.
values murdering people?
Well, I know, and that's where the problem goes. But hey, come on, what you know what? So now you can't say gay, and I got from him. He was talking about the fact that you're making fun of people with gay. Well, how come you can say God and you don't believe in him? I mean, where does this stop? This just making everybody trying to control people's behavior.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, you shouldn't make fun of other people, period. Parents, teach your parents. But if you do, suck it up. And people have been making fun of my Jesus for a long, long time. People use his name in vain, cut it down, and I'm not offended, okay? They don't believe in him.
We move on.
A couple weeks ago, you said, if I was judged according to Buddhist law and traditions, like, don't judge me according to Buddha. I'm not a Buddhist, you know. I don't. People have been cutting down Christianity, making fun of God, using his name in vain in this culture for many, many years. I'm not a baby, okay? Go ahead and do it if you want to. It's not offending me. I believe in my God. And why people get their undies in a bundle, get so hurt if, oh, you said something that offended me.
Over words.
Grow freaking up and deal with it, okay? We're not going to make a law that you don't own these letters in the alphabet, okay? You don't own them. You can't control them. And you're going to make fun of people sometimes. Just deal with it, okay? You're different than the rest of us. I'm
You get
different.
made fun of. Just walk up
different
on stage
as a Christian.
and slap them.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Oh no, wait.
No.
Don't do that.
Until this is getting worse and worse and worse. I really believe this with all my heart. As a culture, we have got to mature and grow up. Quit being a baby and grow up. Okay? Everybody's not going to say everything the way you want it and act the way you want it. Everybody's not going to have your values. If they were, I claim those first, because Christian values is where we started, and I claim Christian values. So let's start there. Everybody's got to value Christian values. We don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm not even a proponent of making laws of Christian values.
Yeah.
You don't have to. You can say my Lord's name in vain. I'm okay. I don't. I love him. He's somebody special to me. He's not to you. So I'm just not going to get offended by it. And why everybody's so stinking soft about this stuff? Was that over the top?
No.
I don't get it.
You could have went harder.
I just don't get it. Don't let them say that.
Yeah.
Where are we going to make
Was
the
there-
list?
Was
Nobody
there?
can talk, okay?
Yeah, nobody could say words. Was there a rampant people just running around yelling that word all over the school? Like, why did the principal have to come in and say that, or assistant principal or whoever it was, have to say that anyway?
I think they're
what was going on in the
I think
school?
this whole Florida thing and this law coming up was this whole idea of not saying gay. And I know it's deeper than that, the law, but it is being kind of talked about that way, the Don't Say Gay bill. So I think that's where it kind of originated from. And when you say what they were telling me, now this is a 14-year-old telling me that, you just can't use gay in any way, shape, or form. You just can't say that word here. And when he was telling me that, I really did. That's the first thing that came to my mind. Well, who owns those 3 letters in the alphabet? What do you mean I can't say those 3? What?
There's other meanings to that word, too.
No, you can say yag.
Yag. The point is, we are trying to make laws to protect everybody's little thing, and we can't do that. We better stop now, okay? We can't.
I thought a little bit of I don't know what like the right word is. You got to break your muscle tendons for him to get stronger. Right?
Yeah.
I thought this is how we developed and grew as human beings is iron sharpening iron and learning how to deal with our emotions when someone offends us and learning how to speak a certain all these things that we're now trying to insulate ourselves from.
Yeah.
We're just going to stay little babies then.
And unfortunately,
I mean,
parents, we've gotten so soft as a culture we can't see our kids hurt or feel sad.
Oh gosh.
So we rescue them. And
pain.
when we rescue them, we inhibit their ability to grow. And I've heard this, I don't even know if this is true, but I've heard this my whole life when I was a kid, that if you were to help a little chick get out of an egg, it will die. It needs that stress. It needs to work that issue through in order to live. And it's no different than culture. I remember, of course, I'm older than you guys, but I remember my parents raising us with, I'm getting picked on at school. Well, then they'd talk us through it. Well, you know what? You can stand up for yourself. We'll come and rescue you so you don't have to grow up. And I know parents don't see it that way. They don't want their kids to hurt. No pain, no gain, no stress. We can't develop and grow as people without going through difficult circumstances that we need to work through to mature. And unfortunately, we're seeing a culture that's just so immature.
Yeah. Would you say, devil's advocate, would you say there ever is a time to, you brought up pulling kids out of school or dealing with words anymore, whatever. Is there ever a time to, I don't want to say legislate something, but take something more than just work through it? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm asking?
Yeah, and that's hard without actually a scenario, a specific
not just a blanket
thing.
answer.
That's a pretty tough answer to just do a blanket. But I know even, so we got all these anti-bullying laws. Now, if bullying takes the life of somebody, that's going too far. That's horrible. We got a bigger issue there of just plain old criminals, and thugs. However, being bullied even, made fun of, is a part of the growing up process. It is, and it's a natural. Parents reassure you. That's where you learn these mechanisms. You learn to be an adult and to handle different stresses and things in life. That, some kids are going to say some things that aren't nice to you. It's normal for kids to.
It's going to happen in life.
They're going to make fun of you because you're really fat. They're going to make fun of you because you're wearing these clothes. Okay, that's how you grow. Your parents help you. You work through that. Your parents reassure you. No, they're just saying that, what, you are very beautiful to us, and you are, this, and you have these. And I tell you what, try this. Try, talking to them, or try. You give your kids 3 or 4 days to go through this, or even weeks, talking them through it. And then if it gets worse and worse, you may have to go and talk to a principal or the parents of the other kids or something. But that's not your first response. Your first response isn't just they don't like the color of his hair, Do you know how many kids? No wonder we got a whole bunch of people that are are so immature they can't deal with life.
We got our
Because
participation trophies.
They haven't grown up through difficulty. That's part of growing up and maturing. Now, is there a point where it's too far? Yeah. I mean, it can be, for sure.
Yeah. Where it is, who knows?
But if parents are paying attention, helping their kids, that we don't live in a world that's going to be all just like you. We live in a world of people are different values. And how do we learn to deal that, grow up with that?
The only way to not be offended is to be dead.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to run into it.
Or to have a
Or to be
healthy,
inoffendable.
have a healthy adult perspective.
Yeah.
And realize, I don't take offense to that.
My life is not built around your opinion
Your
of
opinion
me
of me,
and
exactly.
what words you use,
Yeah.
and I'm more mature than that.
Yes. I have grown. I'm what they call an adult. Okay?
I was on a TikTok video for another whole whatever sort of thing, and I had some pretty controversial opinions on a topic. And you should have just a quick browsing through the comments on a topic that literally means absolutely nothing. But people just ripping me to shreds, and I bet nobody loved him, and his mama didn't put his pictures on just absolutely ripped me to shreds. And I literally could not care any less about what these people are saying.
You don't even know these
Because
people. Why
I
would
don't
it
know
bother
them.
you?
I'm never going to run into them. Even if I do, it's over maybe one of the stupidest topics in the entire world. It's about my opinion. We're not arguing politics or morale.
Right.
I don't care what you say. Call me a big loser. Call me an idiot.
Yeah.
I'm not only sicking that one up, but my nose itched. So, I don't know. Gosh, grow up.
Well, it starts with parenting. And do we help our kids grow, or do we rescue them from everything so they never have to stretch and grow and build?
We talked surprisingly very little about the Florida bill.
Yeah.
Oh,
For this being the topic.
The school has no business talking about sex anything in grade school, period.
I remember when I was
Come
in
on,
school,
people.
we had it in health class, and it wasn't until 8th grade.
Yeah, I think 8th grade is about...
8th grade.
Mine was 5th grade.
Well, that's a little young.
I first heard
So
about
they-
it in 5th
They
grade.
moved it up then.
And from what I can remember, it was just very awkward and uncomfortable, and we're all 5th grade boys, and just like
penis.
I mean, honestly, I'm not sure we got anything of value out of it other than making jokes for the next couple of weeks, and should we try and sneak into the girls' class? Oh my gosh, yeah, I don't know. Going back to what the bill actually prohibits, I personally cannot see any logical explanation to
Why
be up in
against
arms about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like you brought up, it's also the don't say straight bill. It's all these other things. It's let's remove sexuality from kids 3rd grade and under. That sounds like maybe one of the best ideas to happen in our country in a long time.
Yep. And
Let's go for it.
The name probably triggered them too. The parental rights in education. Wait a minute. Why do the parents have rights?
These aren't their kids. They're our kids.
Yeah, they're our kids.
I like to ask some people, well, why do you breathe? Really?
There's a tweet I saw somewhere from, it was some sort of educator, and they said they used the words non-educators. Non-educators don't think you can come into our classroom and tell us what to do and what to teach. We went to school for this. We know what we're doing. And somebody retweeted it basically saying, when they say non-educators, they mean family. They mean parents. Now reread that tweet. Parents don't think you can come into our schools and tell us what we can teach and what we
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Last I checked, these were still my kids. There are still school boards, and we have voices and opinions, and we should use them. And yes, I absolutely can stand up and share what I believe and what I think.
There is a group that's up in arms about this thing, that has absolutely no right to be? The people with no kids.
Oh.
There's people with no kids that I have no kids, but you can't pass that bill. Well, why? You don't have
know
kids.
what the bill
It
says?
really doesn't have anything to do with you at all.
I would like to see us pass a bill that says you can't teach evolution as an option. You can teach it as a theory, but that little word's been dropped a long time ago.
Yeah.
But you know what? You can, and then when my kids get home, I will tell them the rest of the story. There is a responsibility parents have. You can't just send your kids off and expect, oh, you have to teach my kids everything. I had kids so I could put pictures on a mantle, but not really to like.
And on the flip side of that, we are so far off topic. I don't think we should do away with that either, though. Like,
no, saying,
you should. We're not going to only teach evolution. Was your point? But there are some Christians go way the other way. Don't you dare mention the word evolution. There's a boogeyman in that word, and my kids are going to worship Satan. Like, no. We should teach them how other people view the world and know how to defend and defend our beliefs. And these are some of the flaws we see in that theory. And here's
I just said my point was they took off the word theory. That's all.
Yeah.
Just teach it as a theory because it's interesting.
It came up last year at my kids' school. They were talking about it, evolution. And my SA kid, that's who she is. She goes, "Isn't that just a theory?" Literally.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
All right, as long as we're clear.
Yeah. So as a parent,
everything.
I was like, okay, we've laid a good foundation.
Yeah.
She knows when things are hitting that foundation and what to stand on. So it's good.
So along these lines, we're back to growing up. And parents today, not all of them, there's some great parents out there, there's no doubt. But it seems like parents from teaching and training their kids have come into more of I'm just going to protect them and make them not feel pain and all that stuff. And it's just not doing them any favors. It's just really not. So, do you know how many dog bites there are in the United States every year?
Probably a lot.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know the exact, somebody just told me. It's close to 3,000 or whatever dog bites a year.
And did you know,
it might be more than that. The point of it was, every dog bite was done by a dog that doesn't bite.
Oh, my dog doesn't
My
bite.
dog doesn't
My dog
bite.
doesn't.
That reminds me of parenting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be a teacher today for that reason. When I was, or even my kids going to school, and I've told you this many times, my dad drilled it into us. If there's a confrontation between you and a teacher, I'm going to take the teacher's side every time, whether they're right or wrong.
Yeah.
Because you can't have this.
They're the authority.
They're the authority. And you
Yeah.
have to follow authority. I'd like to be a teacher
But it was
today.
my Johnny.
Yeah.
So what? Your Johnny's a little.
My
When
Johnny,
you're not around, he's not your little Johnny.
my Johnny would never do that. The teacher's picking on my Johnny. You know, get a life. You know what? Get a freaking life. Okay.
Oh boy.
But what about that abusive teacher out there? So you know what? There might
There's
be
other ways to deal with it than
you know what? Your first is follow it through. Don't defend your Johnny first thing. Let's see what happens, okay? Because your Johnny's not a saint. Trust me.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Well, I could have just spun us in a different direction, but I'm deciding not to because it's going to derail quick if I do.
Okay.
I'll do it after the cameras go off.
We mentioned the "Don't Say Gay" bill at least 3 times, so therefore this video was
this
about
was
that.
good.
That's what it
Legit?
was. Yeah.
Okay.
The Parental Rights in Education
Oh boy.
Act.
How about parental's responsibility for education? Huh?
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Whoa, responsibility?
wait,
no.
That
I just
sounds-
want people to give me.
That sounds like work.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
I'm offended by that
Yeah,
word.
I'm offended too. I think we should end. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
All right.
See you next time.